We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Nerd Eternal Network. Today we're playing Icon's Earthbound, or Icon's actual play. I'm your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual will be Curtis playing Landshark.
Hola.
Taylor playing Unison.
Howdy, howdy.
Mike playing Independence Ray.
Hi, everybody.
And Zach playing Recluse.
Hope you all have fun watching us.
And who remembers what happened last time?
An issue with language barriers.
It was yet another lesson in, let's not let space strangers explore our bodies.
Well, let's not go that far. But we attempted to exchange medical information with a species, with a hive mind species on a space station in exchange for supplies, fuel, all that good stuff. Only it turned out they didn't understand the idea of a single of a individual of a species being an actual individual and not just simply another node in a hive mind. And they
I'll give Jason props for the way the reveal unfolded in that game. That was well done.
It did turn out pretty well. Because they weren't evil.
Yeah, so
They were just confused.
So in our first adventure, it's Independence Ray who offers himself up for examination and that goes horribly wrong. And then it was Recluse, and now there's three more of us who have to. We have Jason. Your creative exercise is to come up with three more reasons for the rest of us to subject ourselves to, examination.
Yeah, right.
Well, and Unison actually let himself be studied by them.
Well, he let his copies.
I let a copy be examined.
One of his copies as a consolation for not getting Recluse.
And they were fascinated by it, but soon discovered that it was a area that they were basically forbidden to research by the Tuatha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all had a whole Zoom call with with the Tuatha scientists.
And the Tuatha are the children, right?
That is what the word means, yes.
Yeah, and they can't help me out either because of the strictures of the treaty that they have with Lord Nordu.
That is correct. He's not allowed to mess around with these great Spiorid.
Spiorid.
But basically neither are they. So he's making the argument that pulling the Spiorid out of you is really helping it, and humans aren't protected under the treaty. So
right.
So if they directly interfere going forward, then they're in violation. Complicated space politics.
It's a completely logical train of thought, and that's why he's such a dick about it.
Yep. But
I think we've accepted that Anordu's not a nice guy.
Really, you were just very rude guests, and now he's upset with you. Really, you started all this. Busting out his windows, running away, beating up his servants. What is wrong with you
It's
people?
our
Backworld savages.
never-ending. Exactly, it's our never-ending quest to ruin the reputation of planet Earth.
Listen, nothing we do out in space is going to come back to haunt us once we're on Earth. It's fine.
Of course not.
Once we're back on Earth, they're going to make us go back out into space for an apology tour.
The United Nations have gotten together and decided you're going to go back out there and explain to them that it's not ugly Earthlings, it's ugly Americans. The rest of the world have nothing to do with what these guys are out there doing.
That's right. Wait a minute. That might count as official trouble for my quality.
So anyway, y'all been jetting along. You know, you're topped off on your supplies. The ship's in good repair. You have, for the moment, not been taking a lot of side treks to check stuff out. You're just trying to get some distance between you and your previous troubles.
How's our young ward Omniglot doing?
She's fine. Been a little bored the past week or so. You know, the whole not stopping and checking things out. She's just on the ship, you know, with you guys and the rest of the crew. So she's been going around, like, sticking her nose in the engineering sections and stuff. Learning as much as she can about how the ship works. She has been studying signals y'all have been picking up. She had a long speech about the Fermi paradox and how that's, you know, effectively been solved now, and why Earth wasn't picking up signals. You know, basically it's a whole different style of signal that they use, that, you know, everybody out here actually uses. But she'll do that while carry on 2 or 3 other conversations, so you can't always follow what she's saying. She may be in 3 different conversations with 4 different people in the room.
I would have expected 4 different conversations.
Well, she didn't want to push it.
So 3 different people.
So anyway, we start up one night as y'all do your day-night cycles on the ship. Night, basically, the lights dim slightly, just to make it feel like to you that you have that there is a day and a night. And Ray, you wake up in this little observation deck.
Okay.
Like you went to sleep in your bed. Now you're standing in the observation deck in your boxers, or whatever
Is
you
it
were.
an observation deck of our ship?
Yes. It's just it's a little area with like a bubbled window that pokes out a little bit.
Thank you for clarifying that. That was a very important question to clarify. I'll check the time and then see, is there anything unusual? Is it like a dome sort of situation?
Sort of. It's like the size of a deck out the back of a house, which I know that can vary a lot. You know, it's got a couple of tables, you know, flat surface, and then from the edge of it up to the ship, it's kind of a half dome of glass. Oh, well, not glass. It's probably transparent aluminum or something, but you know, it was literally something added on where you can sit outside and kind of look at the stars while you're out here.
Okay. I was. Yeah. I'm not. It's odd, which is a little odd because I'm not prone to sleepwalking or anything like that. I'll check to see how much time I've missed.
Oh, you went to bed. You know. You look down. You went to bed like an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
So, you know, plenty of time to have fallen asleep and gotten up and sleepwalked or whatever happened.
And I don't remember.
Oh, I think he froze up on us.
Or you know, yeah. Can I access footage of I'm assuming.
Are you with us, Mike?
Sort it
Yeah.
out.
Oh, sorry.
Your camera has froze up and has gotten quiet once or twice.
How am I now?
Okay, everything looks normal now. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right, so you were standing on the deck in your pajama bottoms, boxers, whatever Ray wears. And I think we lost him again.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I heard something right there.
Three.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, okay, he's typing.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, okay, camera's...
I think I'm back again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I know. Figure out this whole connection thing. Keeps happening, and this is happening in 2 locations, so it must be me, not the.
Maybe it is, I missed the
Anyway.
computer.
Yeah. In any event, are there security cameras on board the ship, on board the premise?
Yes.
Can I access the security footage to see what happened? Basically what I've been up to in this missing time.
Yes, you have the security clearance. You have the clearance to access that stuff. UNISON has the clearance, or Clues has the clearance. And that head engineer doctor guy that I introduced. Landshark does not have the clearance to access.
I'm a member of Spear.
Yes, you are. You are. You are a valued member of Spear. But, these guys have been around. They've got seniority. That's all it is. Don't worry about it.
Not every cook in the kitchen is allowed to work, the deep fryer.
Can I find any footage of what I've been up to? Can I trace my steps?
Yeah, you go back to your room. You get on the computer. You pull that up. You pull out the surveillance from the hallway. And it's not like every inch of the ship is covered in cameras, but you can look down most any hallway without too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case the ship were going to get boarded, you could figure out, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So sure enough, 30 minutes or so ago, so, after you'd been probably asleep for an hour, your door opens, you go walking out.
Are my eyes open?
Yes.
Okay.
You walk out to the surveillance deck. There's one camera on the deck. You get right up to the glass, which is about where you woke up. You were, it's like you were standing right at the window looking out. And the first thing you notice is odd-colored light playing across your face.
I see what's going on right here.
And then you see these things outside the ship.
Oh, okay.
The camera hasn't got the best view of them, but they're moving around. They're kind of floating around, flying around the window.
Yeah.
And let me just throw up something for y'all to look at.
Oh.
So these are the things that were outside the ship.
Different colors.
And they swirl and they move and they leave little trails behind them. and they kind of tendrils of light reach out and kind of touch the window in front of you. And then they start kind of, they're moving around, coming by, looking at you. They start moving around a little bit faster. In the video, Ray, you see yourself start to glow. The usual color you glow when you're using your powers, not anything weird beyond that.
Yeah.
What color does he glow?
I would say white.
So just a bright white light.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's a silly question, but I've always been color oriented.
No, that's a good question. In fact, there was a time I considered going for the full flag ensemble and just exhibiting red, white, and blue. But no, in the end, I decided to keep it more straightforward and less literal.
And they start kind of pulsating colors, pulsating lights. You don't know what would make you think this, but it's almost like you can feel that they're getting agitated, they're getting annoyed about something, they're getting worked up about something. And then 3 of them zip off.
And the 4th?
It lingers for just a minute longer, and then it leaves too. And then you stand there for about another 5 minutes, and suddenly you can see where you kind of woke up and gave a start and start looking around like.
Yeah. Okay. So clearly, this my steward. I probably should come up with a name to address this being able to exert control over my body, at least when I'm asleep. It seems. Have I ever? Is this the first time I've ever woken up in a strange location?
Well, that's up to you. I don't know what kind of stuff Ray gets into.
Okay, so that'll be no. This is the first time.
Yeah, you've already stated he doesn't usually sleepwalk, so.
Got it. And the stewards know that I'm here with my steward. And they don't seem to be very happy with the situation. Whether they think, it's possible that they think I'm, well, I can only guess the fact that this fjord's fused with a different being is what's got them worked up. I don't think they'll, for all they know, I might have done this intentionally. Like I'm a kidnapper.
The meatbag ate him.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna clip that security footage, and I'd like to show it to Omniglot. I can only guess that is she still asleep? Is she asleep right now, or is she a night owl, so to speak?
I know you're gonna call her and see.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that. Well, yeah, I'll call her. I'll raise her comm.
Omniglot here.
Hey, this is Ray. Well, I probably would have said that. Anyway, I was just wondering whether this is audio visual. In any event, I'd like you to. Do you have time to take a look at some security footage?
Sure. I mean, is there a problem? And you can hear covers being thrown back.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we've just our ship had just been visited by 4 of the Great Spiorid entities, and I wanted to take a look at their movements. I'm curious to see if it's possible that the movements they made may have been like some form of communication.
Oh, send me the footage. Gimme.
I'll forward the file.
You start hearing typing. And there is silence over the comm, clearly while she's watching the footage, because there was no sound with this footage.
Right.
Do you remember if there was any sound they were making?
Oh, well, as it turns out, I know I'm in the security footage, but I wasn't actually conscious. I think my best guess is that while I was asleep, the sphere that's hosted within me uh, took control of my body and moved up to the observation deck. And this is the first time I've ever noticed it. This is the first evidence I haven't been exerting any influence over me. So I don't recall.
We'll have to might have to get a tracker for you to warn us if you start walking around in the middle of the night again.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, I guess it could have just been regular sleepwalking, but it's a weird coincidence.
What? Oh, he did too?
What? No, she's like you could have just been sleepwalking, but it'd be an odd coincidence for that to happen just as these things show up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you had mentioned recluse.
No. She wishes she'd been there to see this in person. Watching the footage, there's not enough here for her to be able to tell for sure if that was a communication. The kind of pulsing of their life that they did, that could have been communication. That might have just been an emotional response. She describes the impression she gets about them getting agitated, which matches up with what you were already kind of thinking when you watched it. She's like, but they didn't try to enter the ship. At least I don't think them touching the window was them trying to get in.
If they did communicate by flashing lights, would that be something Omniglot should be able to understand, or does she only understand audio communication?
She has mentioned before being able to read micro expressions very well. And like she said, she wishes she'd been there in person, to see it herself.
Sure.
In fact, and you can hear drawers opening, and she sounds like she's getting dressed. She's gonna run. I think I'm just gonna run down to the workshop and make a little sensor for you to carry around with you, or wear.
Yeah, speaking. Right. Oh, speaking of getting dressed, I probably would have put on my uniform before I calmed her.
Well, she only answered, calling the middle line. She only answered with with audio at first, anyway. But
okay, that's good.
But that way, if you start to sleepwalk again, it will alert her. So maybe she can just follow you to wherever you're going and observe. Assuming you're not, and if you're about to do something potentially harmful to yourself, she'd be there to stop it. But she also explains that most sleepwalkers don't actually do stuff that hurts themselves.
Right. Probably give everyone all the principals access to that word also. I'll have to let everyone know once next when we convene at designated morning time.
Yeah, she can definitely get UNISON and Recluse hooked into that.
And Landshark.
Oh yeah, him too.
Yeah, Ray would feel closer with or more comfortable with Landshark because they're co-workers at the school, at the academy.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They do work more closely together there.
Ray at least has learned how to tolerate him.
Well, Ray's been around him enough. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I imagine if nothing else, in my head canon, I imagine that we've commiserated over the the prolonged separation from our respectives. You know.
Oh, sure. In fact, Landshark's been asking various members of the crew if they've got an invitation to Ray's wedding yet, because he hasn't got one yet. He's very emotionally invested in it because he was not engaged when they left.
Is
But
it?
Ray was.
Is this? Is there? So you don't approach Ray directly with that question? Are you worried about?
He'll ask all kinds of questions about it. They just more like dropping hints. Wants to
Oh,
make
I
sure he
see.
gets an
Okay.
invite.
Uh, he's yeah, he may seem yeah, he's I feel like Ray would have been maybe a little invasive, and it's possible you may be interpreting that as maybe it's a you thing, but anyway, I kind again in my head canon I envision that Ray and Marcus may have been there may be some underlying tensions even as the wedding plans proceed, but that's not. But he wouldn't talk about. I don't think he'd open up on that. So as far as you know, I'm just deliberately alienating you. Um, but I don't think he would have sent out any invites yet. Let's just say
No, but that makes
that.
it even better.
So yeah. So right now, Ray's thinking that I don't know. I'm assuming that if Ray's been leading the team up until now, that he would like probably institute a regular morning meeting just to review uh even just to go over minutia like ship logs and signal
But
logs and
so
you know
so they put a GPS on Ray to track him when he's sleepwalking. What is it? What is it like? An ankle collar?
When y'all are at that meeting, I'm going to say probably a breakfast meeting. You get up, you meet for breakfast, you have a meeting. Omniglot walks in, full graduation cap, yellow coat, domino mano, full uniform,
oh yeah, that's her uniform, that's right.
or full costume, I should say. I'm not sure any of you have seen her without the full getup. She is maintaining a secret identity. With the rest of y'all, it's up to you how secretive you are with your identities.
Oh, I'm pretty open.
Unison's been eating through the mask for months.
Oh yeah, okay. Spider-Man style.
Yeah, that little bottom
There's
part
a
of the helmet
slot in the
just
front.
pops up.
It pops open. A little flap.
Now I'm picturing like a male flap with that.
Or like those like overalls, like a moonshiner.
It's designed to be less messy.
Like you could just wear a luchador mask.
I can't tell you how many times my skull would have been cracked if I did that. Anyway, Ray, what was with you doing weird stuff at night?
So, I'll I'll review the security footage and explain that apparently my Fjord has well the Fjord I don't want I don't I think I'd be uncomfortable calling it my but anyway the Fjord is exhibiting control over my body while I'm asleep. This is the first time that I recall that I have found evidence of this happening, and apparently I made some kind of contact with others Fjord, as you can see.
Okay, all right, so you play the footage for him.
Yes. Omniglot has suggested placing a tracer on me, and I'd like to give like to alert if I ever exhibit any kind of movements like that. I guess I would just I don't know how would I guess I just have to like set the alarm like as I go to bed. That way, I know if I get up, not of my own accord, that's what would trigger it. Although I can't rule out the possibility that it could over time it could conceivably take control of me even during waking hours. Who knows?
Uh,
So let's just put a tracer on me at all to operate. You know what? Operate at all times. I'm an open book.
uh, Omniglot
Yes.
nods. She holds up something that looks like a metal tongue dispenser. She's like, hold out your arm.
Okay. Did Landtrack have a question, by the way?
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll raise his hand. It's like,
What? Yes,
So-
Bruce.
I get that you were sleepwalking, but how did, and I'm going to say the name wrong, I'm sorry. How did the Bjord approach the ship without us knowing?
That's true. I guess they didn't trigger any alerts. I guess yeah, I guess the ship would trigger if any certainly if any spaceships like got that close or comparably close, it would have registered, right? And yet the Fjord did not register.
Omniglot nods her
Also-
head. The
And
ship
if the
set to
Bjord
detect
found
mass.
us- If the Bjord found us, maybe we're close to a nest?
Oh, like yeah. Do we know whether they actually even have a nest?
You do not.
Possibility.
I'm picking this stuff up as I go along.
Sure.
But Omniglot tells you the ship would the passive sensors, or not passive sensors, the sensors that are just kind of going automatically all the time, or look for mass.
And they don't have mass.
Right, something like a laser
Oh.
beam, something like an
Sure.
energy weapon striking us would draw attention. But she's like, if they're just made out, if they're just made out of the same kind of energy ray dispenses, the sensors could probably pick it up, but they weren't set to think of that as a problem. It just wouldn't have triggered. And then she looked at Ray. Hold out your arm.
I will do so.
She takes that what looked like a metal tongue dispenser or tongue depressor, and she slaps it on your wrist, and it curls around your wrist like a 90s slap bracelet.
Oh.
And it's just about as flat.
It's better than a house arrest ankle monitor.
You could actually, even as tight as your costume is, you could slide your costume over it if you needed to.
Oh, okay. That might be for the best. Yeah, I would have rolled up my sleeve then, and yeah.
And she explains to you where you can go on your console. Right now, she's got it set on a timer, so about the time you go to bed, it starts keeping up with where you're at. It is set up right now to shut off when you leave the ship. Just so if we're on some alien space station, no one could scan you and realize you had an active tracking device on you and then track you with it. She's like, any of that kind of stuff can be altered as needed, but she suggests not telling you how to take it off, just in case your buddy in there is listening.
That's fair. Okay.
So, admittedly, if the Speward's listening, burning that out would give us a great deal of information as to whether or not it wants to speak with those other Spewarids.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Ray could
and
certainly
now
use his
that I
power to
think of-
destroy it, but
Yeah. That's a good point. Now that I think about it, it might not be.
I mean,
Um,
don't worry too much about it, Ray. I'll keep the backup system watching you as well.
Okay. And as far as I think I would also like to. Should we not just keep the sensor on at all times? Because if this Fjord takes over and like leaves the ship on its own, I certainly want you to be able to figure out or to know where I'm going. And I think the risk of someone else, some hostile party hacking into it, I feel like the that's a risk worth taking. How the risk? What do you often?
I say it's up to you.
Let's let's do that then.
She nods.
And
She
that
pulls
does
out a little
raise
tablet and. Like, okay, I can.
it
You
does
know,
raise the. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
she's like, okay. I've made the adjustments. It's always on. Anybody with security clearance can access it and see where you're at.
This does raise another issue, and that is my ongoing appointed leadership of the team. Uh, while not now that we know that this fjord is exerting influence over my body, that could compromise my ability to has experienced some comparable amount of compromise, given that
Hey, in the middle of the night, in your sleep, your Spjord woke up, went, and told the other Spjords it was all cool and they could leave, and one didn't want to. And then the conversation continued of your Spjord asking them to step off. I don't see how that's going to be a huge issue for you to continue leadership until we get back on Earth.
I still trust Ray, but if we need a new leader, I'll do it.
I'll. Yeah, Bruce, appreciate your gumption, but I'm also going to second that. I'm still going to put my trust into Ray, and his little buddy doesn't seem to have any malice towards us.
And if it wanted out that badly, the other Spjords would have attempted some sort of attack.
true. Good points. Okay, well, I appreciate the confidence. Hopefully, we'll I guess now at least now that I'm under the monitoring, I guess that will if I become further compromised, I trust you all to make the right calls as to how to react to that. So yeah, that's happening now. Um, I guess we
Uh,
I guess we'll just have to be on high alert in case this fjord come back. In the meantime, I don't know. I gotta. Yes.
I mean, one literally had a lingering moment trying to talk to your Spjorid, so I assume they're going to come back.
Probably.
Omniglot looks at Unison. But that's assuming that we are reading the situation right. Though that's a perfectly reasonable assumption, but it's also assuming that they react emotionally like humans do.
They were called sentient creatures, or sapient creatures, one or the other.
Well, the last sentient creatures we spoke with didn't necessarily think like we did. Didn't stop us from speaking with them. But they weren't necessarily thinking the way we think. Ain't that right, Recluse?
Yeah, that's
That's a cross discussion. This was a discussion between two creatures who have the same set of rules as one another.
Yeah, but you couldn't hear what they were saying. He might have been saying, "There's not enough of you. Go get help." You don't know.
Stop me if I'm being fuzzy. If this would violate whatever treaty that the children have and whatever. But I'm thinking, for Ray's benefit, if we can communicate with these Bjord, that we want to help him learn more about what's going on, and either separate or make peace with his Bjord, and maybe they're still hanging around.
Yeah, I feel like I think that maybe the top priority, at least for me, is to like try to figure out a way to make contact with uh with my Fjord,
Have you tried meditation?
and also let's put the ship on alert that if the Fjord come back, not to assume hostile intentions, or you know certainly don't fire on sight, this sort of thing.
Yeah. Omniglot tells you she'll see about adjusting the sensors so it alerts us if they show back up. No putting up a shield, no arming guns, just let us know.
As another worst case scenario, we do have a version of extraction we could do to you in emergencies.
How's that?
Recluse,
Yes, sir.
have you done any communication or traveling into the realm of the creeping gods or web world, whichever one you wanted to call it?
I have not. Listen, buddy, last time I did that outside of the United States, I ended up alone in a blank space with just the hungriest looking monster I have ever seen in my life. I don't want to know what I find out in space. But like, if I need to, sure, we can find out what unfathomable horrors lurk in the folds between reality out here.
I kind of just assumed you had used it at some point in combat, I admit.
Nope. Trying to mitigate certain risks with that ability.
What do you suggest? Like, what in unison? What would be the plan?
Recluse could simply pull you into the other dimension if it's empty in this particular section for you to sleep, and then you'd wake up and you'd come back. Or to simply pop you out so that you cannot be detected, and then pop you back in when need be. Like I said, this is a emergency, not a consistent, thought out process.
Here's my question, Ray. Can you survive in a vacuum? Because I literally don't know what is out there if I cross over.
The answer is no.
So that's one big
I have
risk.
not invested in life. I have not yet invested in life support.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
With my 2 points in occult, would I be able to stunt an occult ritual to maybe open a channel of communication between Ray and his friend?
If his friend were some sort of spider spirit or spider god, maybe.
That's fair.
But you have no idea how these spewed things fit into the occult.
If needs must.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But if needs must, we could cross over and see what happens.
I feel like I'm hearing a heartbeat or something.
Mike?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh no, it was just like an electric tapping on your side.
Maybe like an
Oh,
oscillating
sorry.
fan or something is
Yeah.
coming close.
Oh, there's nothing like that
Well, it stopped now. It's weird.
here.
Weird.
I I did notice a garage door opening. That perhaps that might open it. Although that
Oh,
I'd
okay.
be surprised. I'd be surprised if you could. I
No,
wasn't expecting that
that
you could
that thump
pick
and
up
buzz has been
a button.
happening regularly for a while.
Yeah, just kind of off and on.
Has it?
It's
Yeah.
kind. It's
Oh,
not like almost on a timer.
But,
I don't know.
but anyways, anything else y'all need to bring up at y'all's breakfast meeting?
Uh, I mean, I've got things to ask Ray in somewhat private, not necessarily a meeting situation.
Okay.
And I'll make sure to put, I don't know, novice out in front of your bedroom if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary quite yet.
Oh, it hasn't been necessary any of the times I've done it.
What? You've done this.
Yeah. I have a fully conscious 7-person team most of the time.
Do you regularly put them on door watch for us?
No, I normally watch people when they sleep, but I'm respecting your privacy.
What? Wait a minute. Is this a joke?
No, half the reason I'm in charge of the spirit team is how many senators I have blackmail on.
You see Omniglot just face palm.
Hey, UNISON, buddy, pal. I know you're only on your 12th cup of coffee this cycle, but that's something that's a statement you need to keep on the inside, not the outside.
There are a lot of criminals in government. I don't know what to tell you.
We know, buddy. We know. It's just certain things. Go ahead.
Are you keeping blackmail material over us then? Is this some kind of weird Batman thing you've got going on?
I mean, I don't feel the need to have blackmail material on any of you.
Good.
It's just the issue is if those words, like say, it's being recorded, and that gets out to I don't know, a reporter or a particular YouTuber or whatever. Once we get back to Earth, that might pose a problem.
The government built this ship. The government has the full hold on the information. Most of the government knows the things that I know about most of the government. Including but not limited to the fact that I know they have secret labs, but they won't tell me where any of them are.
Probably somewhere dumb, like under a dairy farm or something.
Well, now how am I going to sleep thinking that Unison is watching me?
Omniglot's like, yeah. How are you gonna take a poop too?
By making direct eye contact wherever you think the invisible astral projection is.
Also, Landshark, it's not like you haven't seen me in the shower. Or the remnants of me in the shower.
He was curious about the mask.
The mask is to keep my face hidden.
this is all fascinating, but if this is all the meeting's devolved into, Omniglot's like, I'm just going to head back to my lab and get to work.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I'm not ready to like really talk about this right now. So yeah, let's just end the meeting, and then Unison, you can go ahead and ask me your private questions.
Um, yeah, it's about your abilities.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's up?
You're able to produce light, correct?
Yes.
In a harmless fashion?
I can exhibit blinding light without kinetic force behind it.
Can you put it through objects, or does it just come out of your hand? Or face or body?
I just generate it out of my, typically I channel it out of my hands, but I guess I technically, I can produce light out of any portion of my body. I've never thought about um, focusing it through an object. What are you thinking?
Just wondering if you could produce it, say, 3.5, 4 inches past where your hand stops, and that be the point of origin.
What?
Because I'd get a better 3D model of my own brain
What would be? What
if
would?
if I could get you to produce the light inside my skull.
Oh, inside your skull. Are you talking about like some kind of like
It's I don't like taking MRIs or too many scans of my own
brain surgery
brain.
thing, like a laser surgery? I'm
So
sorry, I missed that first.
I would have you produce light inside my skull, and I'd have an astral projection looking in to get a proper rendering of what my brain looks like currently.
I'll re-invite him and see what we get.
I'm sorry. I think I'm back now.
Alright.
Hello and welcome back.
Yeah, sorry again.
No problem. Technical issues are going to do what they do.
So I missed the explanation of the brain lasering.
You would just produce light in there, so an astral projection of myself could phase in and look at my own brain.
Oh,
Because this far into the trip, I have an ability now that I didn't have on Earth.
no kidding.
I can do a thing, but my copy on Earth can't do it.
What is that exactly?
I can give people headaches,
Oh,
which
that's a curious.
sounds strange, but
I'm certainly game to try. I hope no, and you're just talking about light, not like any kind of laser or force.
just
light.
just light to see.
Yeah. If okay, so if it's just like a illumination, could I guess that would be like, I don't know, maybe like blinding it, but not full force blinding. Jason, would I have that kind of granular control with my dazzle power?
I would say you could do like a flashlight beam level of light without it being a power stone, anything weird. Now the whole making it erupt away from your body and not from your body. I don't know that you ever tried that before.
I certainly have not, but I'm willing to give it a go. I'm willing to give it a power stunt go.
Great. You will see two astral projections come into view behind me, ready to look into my head as soon as you produce a light.
Yeah. Do you need to make yourself comfortable, like recline or something, before you do that?
As long as you can produce it, I'm good. I've done worse things to my brain from a sitting position.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm just looking over my qualities. Would hosting an alien energy being be close enough? I mean, that is the source of my power.
Yeah, that is what you're using to bring your power. Yeah. That is the origin of your powers, so using that to manipulate your powers makes sense. Now, Land Shark and Recluse. Y'all have heard this entire discussion. Are y'all staying to see what's going to happen?
Well, I thought this they went off to the side.
Yeah, I thought it was private.
Yeah.
Oh, did you step off somewhere with Ray for this conversation?
It was just said when the meeting was over.
Oh, okay. So y'all were probably already
stuck
breaking
around in the dining area.
Okay.
Heard it.
So, Land Shark and Recluse, what did you do as the meeting was breaking up?
You know what? I'm gonna roll to see if I walked off to do my own thing or not.
Okay.
I'm going to be a nosy and eat more breakfast while, unless they request privacy.
Okay, yeah, I stuck around to just file a couple reports.
All right. So both yelled in the room when they had this conversation. And then there's 2 extra Unisons waiting to stick their head in the original's head.
And if they thought that we weren't listening, Land Shark will chime in. Can you put a light in my brain too?
What are the good goddamn am I about to witness?
Oh, don't worry, Recluse. If this works correctly, I have questions for you too, but later.
Okay.
I appreciate our friendship.
I appreciate our friendship too. Good God.
Poor Recluse in there. How am I not the weirdest person on this team?
6 years ago, I was eating rats out of a dumpster. Now, no, I have to witness this.
I miss them rats. Them were good days.
Those are not good days. Those are awful days.
All right.
So I think I will go ahead and burn determination point to stunt an illumination with it. Any particular portion of the brain you want me to focus on, or just the whole brain in general?
Well, as soon as it works, if you have a central point that you are producing from, I can just move. The light will still be at the same point. I will just move my head around it for the copies to see what they need to see.
Okay. And are we sure that
Are we sure that what?
projecting light in there won't?
It's kind of a fair
Cutting in and out.
question.
It's just regular light. It should be fine.
But another Unison will walk into the room and put a hand on the back. If it gets bad, I'll just heal myself and we'll pull out.
Right, of course. All right.
All right. So Ray projects the light.
Yes.
All right, Unison. You stick your heads in your own head.
Yep, and just get a nice, clear picture of what my own brain looks like currently,
Give me an awareness roll.
and see what difference it has. Can I use my investigation on this, or is it just?
If you have medical, you can use that,
Nope. Okay.
or maybe it's a science.
Isn't this like touching a past version of yourself?
Alright, I just got a 10.
The number to beat was an 11. So you see your brain, but you're not really able to just visually looking at it to really see what's going on. I mean, you stick your head in there. All right, I'm looking at a brain. It looks like a human brain.
Yeah, there's no part of it that looks grotesquely different than any other time I've had a scan of my brain.
Correct. Physically, nothing looks different about it.
Okay, cool. That's at least helping with the fearful health concerns that I might have something growing.
You don't see any tumors or anything for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Meanwhile,
everything checks out pretty cleanly.
outside, Omniglot has tracked down another one of your copies. Assuming that you have other copies active on the ship somewhere.
Yep, they all are.
She runs up to whichever one it is, calls it by the wrong name.
Howdy.
And you know she knows what the proper names are. She just does that. I didn't want to say anything in the meeting in case Ray's little buddy was listening. But if he starts to act too weird or does anything too dangerous, I may have installed a massive taser into that bracelet.
I appreciate the paranoia. It shows that
I thought you'd approve.
it shows you are the person I know you to be.
Hey, I trust Ray. I don't know nothing about his little buddy though.
I mean, that's fair.
You know, it's not that I'm especially suspicious. It's just we need to be careful.
Always be careful. That's fair.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you and Recluse know because you have access to the security app, basically. So,
well, I mean, hey, you know me. I've been watching it from the start.
Of course. Anyway, it's just like to let you know.
Do you need to see the event?
What event?
Well, I know you saw the security footage, but it doesn't have sound. Do you need to see it, the version of it that has sound?
I still managed to get vague impressions, but I can't. Well, like I said, I can't tell if it was actual communication or just like an emotional. The flashing lights, I don't know if it was them talking or just their facial expressions. You know, I think it would help if I was there in person. Or these things may be so weird that I'm not going to be much good. Who knows?
Do you need me to have a copy near you so that you can tap into that to see what the copy that I have near him sees?
That's probably not a bad idea. Probably still wouldn't be quite as good as being in person, but it'd be the next best thing.
Yeah, but with how fast that meeting went, I'm not sure I could get you awake, dressed enough to be decent, and there in time.
Maybe I should start sleeping in my mask.
You really need to design the mask to do that, I assure you.
But yeah, we can use that as a backup plan. Just, have your copies waiting out in the hallway, not, watching me poop.
Well, I mean, it would just be, the body would just kind of be there, astral projected somewhere else. Because you just need the body to be there.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, let me go see if I can track down Recluse once he leaves the kitchen or leaves the
all right,
dining area.
I'll wait to have my brain surgery talk with him later.
So Recluse, eventually, they do the whole poking. You see his copies astral projecting their faces into his head.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd, but you've seen the astral projections walking through walls and stuff before, when they decide to be visible. But eventually, when you get ready to, when you get done and you do leave to go do whatever it is you do for the rest of the day on the ship, Omniglot is like waiting in the hallway, waiting around a corner in the hallway to like ambush you.
Hi, is everything okay?
Yeah, you just around the corner. She's just there, and then she's walking right next to you. I just wanted to let you know. I didn't want to say anything in there with Ray's little buddy potentially listening. But if he gets too wild, we can use that bracelet to tase him. And she shows you on the app how to activate it.
So just press this button right here.
Yep. You log in, you use your thumb. I had to make it where it'd be quick. You have a very distinctive thumbprint, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I think.
But yeah, So if
I don't-
he just goes crazy or something, or not crazy, but if the thing can actually possess him,
If it starts putting us or the ship in danger, yeah, I'll give it the little tappy tap.
yeah, it's just psst. It won't do any permanent harm. It's just a taser.
Yeah. Before we upgrade to the whole punchy, webby. Ray's powerful, but honestly, I'm fairly sure I could take him.
No.
But honestly, I don't think his little friend is going to pose a problem. If it wanted to be an issue, it would have been an issue by now.
It's not that I'm super suspicious of it. I just feel like there needs to be a backup plan.
I understand.
Maybe I've been hanging around UNISON too long, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, you were talking almost exactly like them. So, like that's not a mark against you or UNISON. Yeah.
But her eyes narrow at you slightly. It's not necessarily a good thing either, though. I am cautious. He is uptight.
So is there any chance that Landshark heard this conversation?
If he left the room when Recluse did, which would be after what he was kind of sitting around watching was over, give me an awareness roll to see if you happen to be close enough to catch this.
Probably not, but
Number to beat is a 9.
no,
No.
probably not.
You see that Omniglot, you round the corner and you see that Omniglot and Recluse are walking and talking, and she's showing him something on a pad, on a tablet.
Hey guys,
In one smooth motion, Omniglot swipes across the screen and it goes back to like the home page or whatever. Oh, hey Bruce.
hi.
So Bruce, how's space been for you so far?
Surprisingly, a little dull. But that's what happens when you're on special assignment from Spear.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a change up from the school you and Ray were working at.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I didn't get an invitation to come work there, but I'm not going to take an offense to that or anything. I probably would have had to turn it down anyway.
Probably so. It's like, you don't think I'm not an actual agent of, a full-fledged member of Spear, but I am. I'm actually I'm an agent of Shark.
Shark?
Yes. Scrappy Heroes, Avenge, Rumble, and Kick Ass. And he'll just walk off.
Hell yeah, brother. As soon as he's out of earshot, I'm just gonna get Recluse. Just gonna give Omniglot a look and just. Honestly, I like him, but he might be dangerously unstable.
Well, he is banned in several cities. Banned from entering several cities. At least he can't make the ground shake here on the ship. I mean, lovable guy, but it's almost terrifying how much power he has.
Oh yeah. His heart's in the right place, but
Wait till he has a mishap on an alien planet. We'll have to add that to the apology tour.
Oh, it turns out he can control Earth and Alpha Centauri. So the rest of the day goes by fairly uneventfully. Oh wait, UNISON was going to track down Recluse at some point, wasn't he?
Yes, and I could chip in to talk to Landshark as well if need be, but But yeah, with Recluse, track you down at some point, if that's all right.
Oh yeah.
So Recluse, how much do you remember of getting repaired, if you don't mind me asking?
Repair. Oh, you mean the makeover? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
well, yeah, because the Brawling Gods called it fixing you, so I thought you were injured when you showed up.
Oh no, they just have a very low opinion of the they just have a
Mammalian
very
form?
low, yeah, very low opinion of the mammalian form. And hey, you know what? Now I can do this. He's just gonna jump up and cling to the ceiling. Ta-da!
Yeah. I'm also very curious about. I don't mean to say this in a weird way. How your brain works.
Uh,
Because once the. Okay, listen. There's going to be a whole lot of no offense, but we both know you're different in a way that is unique.
I understand what you're talking about.
I'm curious as to if your brain was altered or just the outside was altered.
Oh yeah, like I've had an MRI done before, and the whole everything up here has been rearranged to actually, let me do this, and I just keep walking around on the ceiling without throwing up. Like there's a lot going on underneath the surface that needed a massive reworking of your baseline nervous system alone.
And would I'll cut to the chase. Um, do you think your crawling gods would be willing to speak with a copy or two of me the next time they ever do something similar to what they did to you?
They've offered to do it to people I've yanked over there to, put the fear of God into before. So I
Right.
imagine if I give a good word in, they'll be willing to do it to you. Like what?
That's
Like what
not
exactly?
quite what I'm looking for.
Like what alterations are you looking for? Like, okay, listen, I know this entire affair has not been good on you physically or mentally. Like giving yourself a manual manual brain scan, kind of sending up some alarm bells. What's going on here, buddy?
Well, Recluse, you knew me before I could heal people.
Mm-hmm.
You know my powers are altering in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you a secret. You used to see me fly back in the day. That was all astral projection. That's why I used to have the motorcycle. I can just fly now.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm changing at a pace that is aberrantly rapid compared to other heroes that I've seen and talked to who gain new abilities. I'm scared.
So what are you asking them to try and slow down the evolution?
I was hoping to watch how they alter brains so that I can know how to alter brain.
Ah.
If something negative starts to pop up. That's my fear.
I'll ask about it. But listen, this right here is a once in a generation kind of thing. Like I can see if I can't find someone who'd be willing to undergo the same process for it, but like I there'd be a vetting process. Like I'm not sure if they'd come out exactly like me, but either way they're going to come out with some extra horsepower, and if I don't know.
Well, I don't want us to start mass producing use. Because there are people, even some in Spear, who would very much like to do that, and I would prefer us not to do that.
Yeah.
But alright, I didn't know how often they alter creatures. I only knew of you.
I could get you in touch with them once we get back to Earth. And they might be able to go over some of the finer details with you.
But I mean, like, if they grab animals and do it to animals, I'd watch that.
Okay.
Just knowing how the process operates would be helpful.
Sure. Like, if this keeps you from, I don't know, turning into something you don't want to be, I'll see what I can't do.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And hey, listen. I know you said you've had a copy back on Earth. I've been thinking, that's not a copy, is it?
What do you mean? Like, I made a copy and left it on Earth, yes. And it's currently not doing everything I want it to do because I'm having to copy paperwork right now from this ship. It's a really arduous process to look over information that we got from alien races and then create a viable English copy on Earth. It's frustrating. But it was a copy of me at the time that I left. After months, my brain is readjusting. Its brain isn't. I'm still connected, but the radio waves are getting mixier and mixier as time goes on.
That sounds like an issue for when we get back to Earth. Potentially a very big one.
But, thank you for your time. I'm gonna go lay down an ash reject and hope my body feels better when I get up.
You, just try not to collapse.
Only on purpose. And I'll go ahead and start walking off.
Okay. So the rest of the day, uneventful, until it's getting, close to dinner time. As some of you are starting to make your way to the dining area, you have the option of eating in your room, but the crew generally dines together. But as you're approaching, an alarm sounds. Some of the crew that are on duty in the bridge come over the comms. Attention, we have 2 ships approaching us.
Crap.
At high speeds.
I'm assuming they're unidentified ships.
This is just an announcement over the PA. He does not identify them, so they are probably unidentified.
Battle stations.
That's actually a good question. Where do we go whenever what is our part whenever we're whenever we're getting bared down on by 2 unidentified craft?
You guys, in a lot of ways, are like the bridge crew. You 4 are the highest ranking people on the ship as far as that kind of stuff goes.
I say let's run to the bridge.
Yep.
You make it to the bridge. 2 of the regular crewmen are there. When they see Ray walk in, sir, they're approaching, basically from our 2 o'clock, moving in at a course to rendezvous with us. They haven't sent a signal to us yet. We haven't tried to communicate with them yet. Should we send a signal or?
Do we have a signal, like a message?
You have communication equipment. You can talk to people.
Yeah, but with the beings that don't seem to have any equipment.
Oh, you cut out for a second there. What was that?
Oh, but it. Can our communications centered in ships?
Can your communication what now?
Oh, with just beings that aren't in spaceships.
Uh,
Oh,
I don't know.
right now it's 2 ships moving to intercept
Oh,
/ rendezvous with us.
I'm sorry, I missed the part about being ships as opposed
Okay.
to fjord. I just made.
Yeah, that connection issue was probably chopping up what I was saying.
Yeah, let's open. Yeah, let's just send a message saying this is the USS Primus. Please identify yourselves and state your intention. Yes.
Okay. Very quickly, you get a signal back.
Yeah.
There is a somewhat harsh sounding voice. This is the overseer of the patrol ship 314 Vanquisher of the Strawlet Communal Empires Expansion Department. You are approaching the edge of our territory. Please state your planet of origin and your intentions.
Our intentions are simply to return home. We're just passing through and have no intention on influence of stopping at any of your territory.
And where is this home?
Far from here. And I hope you understand if we're not. If I hesitate, that's totally.
Your evasiveness is not inducing trust.
Well, we'll just be on our way and reroute.
While you're talking, Omniglot has come in. She's sitting at one of the stations, plopped down at one of the stations, and is pulling her up. The overseer responds, "We are going to conduct a standard scan of your ship."
So you think we can do to block that?
Not really. You could probably put up shields that would make it harder for them to scan you. But that also might be
Bad idea.
triggering.
I'm going to whisper and raise here. It's not the end of the world. Unison's already watched us pooping.
So I'm hearing a consensus that maybe we shouldn't raise shields quite yet.
I mean, it's probably okay to tell them we're from Earth. We've already, pissed off some very scary people.
Or we can just say we have the same home planet as the Hunter Supreme Muckboot and see if they know who that is.
Oh, yeah. Let's go with that.
Do a name drop. Yeah, so we call our world Earth. Perhaps you've heard of, and I drop Muckboot's full title. Is there any registering of that?
There's a pause. And, we're like long enough that somebody may have looked up the name. Oh, yes, I see you. A native of Earth. You are far from home. How did you get on this side of our territory without passing through it?
How did we get this? I can't remember exactly.
Basically, like a warp drive malfunction. Somebody was trying to sabotage the ship as y'all were jumping to light speed, and it hurled you way, coreward.
It accidentally produced a way faster warp drive than anything else has.
Right. Of course, the powered person trying to do the sabotaging died in the process, so it's not really repeatable. It was a neat trick, but you can only do it the once.
Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to figure that reverse engineer that, but I will say malfunction in our warp drive.
Hmm.
And again, our only intentions are to get back home.
Everybody give me reason checks right quick. Yeah.
Reason checks?
Intelligence, excuse me.
Intellect?
Yes, intellect.
Alright, would investigation factor into this? I doubt it.
Yeah, go ahead and include that.
Okay.
The whole looking for clues thing could factor in. 10 is the number to beat.
Nope.
Thank you. Recluse.
Yay!
The recluse did.
It's the only recluse beats it. All right. So he's been talking to you without any trouble. You drop muck boot. You identify as Earth. They're like, oh yes, we've heard of that. And then there's a pause, and you hear them speaking to each other in their native language. What you assume is their native language. Recluse, you clue into the fact that means your ship's translator wasn't translating their language into English. They were just speaking to you in English.
Huh.
I
Interesting.
scroll that on a piece of paper and just pass it around.
When they start speaking their native language, Omniglot quits futzing around with the computer and is just focusing on. Recluse, you kind of pass the note around, hey this, hey this, hey this. When you look over at Omniglot, she's focused, she's listening. She suddenly sits up a little straighter and gets a very concerned look on her face. She makes a little hand gesture to the guy at the comms unit. And you're still hearing them talk, but he flicks some switch. And when he gives her a nod, all right, we've muted, our mics are muted. I started picking up on what their language, I started picking up their language.
Mm-hmm.
They already knew we were human. Some of what they were talking about, they've already sent a probe unit to Earth, but lost contact with it.
That sounds ominous.
What did they lose contact with?
What they called it a probe unit that they sent to Earth.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
They're debating whether to study us because this ship is more advanced than anything they thought Earth would have. Which is fair since we reverse engineered somebody else's ship to build this thing. And did anybody else catch the fact that they were part of the Empire's expansions department?
Oh, I heard that.
that's foremost on my mind.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody else caught that.
Yeah.
Vanquisher. I got
Isn't
314
exactly a
Vanquisher
traffic cop.
expansion department. Yeah, exactly.
I don't like any combination of these words.
Yeah, I say we just excuse ourselves and be out of our way as evasively as possible. No, what are you thinking?
No, that was concurring.
Oh, yeah, I'll give the word to our navigators or whoever's in charge of ship movements.
Okay. Because y'all are still far enough away that you're still, y'all they haven't gotten here yet, but they're still on a rendezvous course. You've got a few minutes before you actually come with
And they're still watching us on the screen, right?
They've only been talking to you through the audio.
Oh, okay. We haven't seen them.
Correct.
Yeah, let's warm up our warp engines and get ready to. Hopefully, let's do whatever you can to evade these.
Omniglot goes tappy, tappy, tappy.
the Vanquisher, and also maybe just put out I don't know what would you call it, like not quite battle stations, but I don't know, yellow alert. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yellow alert.
We'll tell our technicians to kind of like buckle in. Any like non-combat or hazardous duty people just to buckle in and get ready for a bumpy ride.
Yeah, it's probably better. Yellow alert. All right.
In a way, it's cool that everyone thinks we're interesting and they want to study us.
I think they want to study us under a petri dish. A museum.
Well, that's kind of how it's gone.
Omniglot does some tappity, and then she suggests to the helmsman a course, the alteration to the course he should make. She's like the shoot, I wrote their name. Where did I write their names down at? The guys you met last time, host's little crew. The Akazans. They gave you a basic map of the region.
Right.
So she's able to pull up, where this empire is, kind of their borders.
How to avoid it.
So yeah, she suggested an alteration you can make to kind of, it'll add a week or two of travel time to completely circle around the outside of their territory, but that might
extra travel time's better than getting into a slug match against ships that are probably better armed than us.
Yeah, because most of the civilizations, the further you get forward, the more advanced most of these civilizations are. And your ship is basically reverse engineered from a pirate ship that you commandeered, so probably not the highest, the highest tech, baddest thing out there.
Which itself is probably scavenged traces.
As soon as you alter course, though, the Strullet come back on, or the Overseer specifically. We notice you have altered course. The comms guy flips a switch and then gives Ray a nod to let you know that
That's right, and we're
Mike's back on.
Out of respect.
What was that?
Oh, and you should take note that we're making a point to navigate away from your borders out of respect. Of course.
We detected an anomaly when we scanned your ship. We'll need you to not power down, but come to a full stop and let's examine it to make sure that that there's no danger to you or to anyone else. The helmsman's like, sir, they've altered course to maintain a rendezvous course with us.
Again, we're
Negative. We have a reactor leak. Very
staying outside of
dangerous.
your jurisdiction. Threat to us for free. We're not, I'll tell you this: we're not threatening anyone. I'll tell you that for free.
Ray's getting a little bit of an attitude.
So, any further pursuit of I lost because I have no idea what is so we're lost. And I might have protected this once before. Oops, there.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out on us again.
Sorry. Ray's also getting ready to name drop the Tuatha because it looks like we're probably going to have to.
All right. So what was the last thing you told him?
I said that Candace if each.
Man.
his camera will be perfectly smooth and I'm talking to one of the rest of you.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. If you're talking, if it's another character.
Lord. What's that?
Oh, we lost you off Zoom again.
I'm sorry. I will. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm coming back online.
Okay.
On Zoom.
All right. It's like it'll be fine for a minute, and then anytime you start to like talk,
All right. So
a chunk.
I will. Lord in the. Oh, did you miss a bunch of what I just said?
Almost all of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's start over. Oh, first of all, I say that if you continue to pursue us outside of your borders, that will be a violation between Lord Inordu, and that was on our behalf. And I'd hate to, and I hope you would understand that. For your forces, if you were to pursue this illegal action.
We have no agreement with the Tuatha or Lord Inordu. That involves humanity in any way.
So he's calling my bluff.
Sir, there are ports opening on their ship.
There are what opening on the ship?
Ports.
Where?
Oh, on their ship.
Yeah, on the front of their ships.
Oh.
There's these ports opening.
Oh, I thought ports on our ship were. I thought we were being boarded.
No, not yet.
We should probably gun it.
We're being boarded?
No, they're about to open fire.
You see these large ports on the front of their ship open up.
Okay, shields up.
Hit it.
They throw up max speed. Omniglot is rattling off relative velocities, where they're at, their actual coordinates, while also calculating the increased fuel expenditure for this little chase scene. And comparing the size of the ports to the size of the overall ship, and wondering what sort of massive weapon it's going to shoot out of a port that big. It's like you could shoot school buses out of that thing. What in the world are they shooting out of that?
And I do apologize, but this is where I'm going to have to step away for the evening.
Oh.
Yeah. Y'all have a great rest of the game. Try not to get blown up too badly.
I'll only blow up a little bit, I promise.
See you in a couple of weeks, Zach.
All right. And then Ray, Omniglot looks at you. They're matching our speed without too much effort. I think their ships are just faster than ours. And she brings up on screen a view of the big ships coming at you with these ports, big ports open. And then something that looks, for all the world, it's shaped like a big bullet, comes launching out of the things.
Okay.
And we're in space, so there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Does it look like it has thrusters on the back?
It does. Almost immediately, Omniglot's identifying it as some sort of vessel. She is betting that it's some sort of boarding craft that it will probably attach to the surface of the ship.
Can I get a spacesuit on and intercept it in time?
Well, they're shooting multiples at you.
Oh, boy.
I'll send as many copies as I can to a docking bay to crack it open, launch them out. I've done this before.
Are they putting on spacesuits, or are they just holding their breath?
They're copies. I'm not wasting precious materials on them. They know. I know what the job is. I've thrown them out of airlocks before.
Is it the first airlock?
Specifically to stop missiles from hitting a ship. This is the exact same thing. The bullets are just bigger.
So UNISON, what do we call this strategy? We call it Operation Turkey Drop.
I should have worn my silver spacesuit today.
Was that a WKRP reference?
Absolutely. Scott is my witness. I thought UNISON could fly. Come to think of it, he couldn't fly the first time he was doing that.
Nope. It was just jumping and praying.
All right. So Ray and UNISON run for an airlock. Landshark, where are you going?
I am on the bridge for now. If one of them, I mean, I can't get out into space and do much.
Fair.
But I'll watch on the bridge and wait for one of them to make contact. And then wherever they're boarding, I'm going to run to meet them.
Okay.
And my suggestion is we're probably going to get hit by more than one ship because they've got multiple coming at us. I'll take the first one, and then Recluse take the second one. I know, shouldn't speak for Zach. Well, he's not here, but that's my suggestion of a plan.
All right. So the boys run into the airlocks. Right, the suits go on pretty quick. Because again, they're retrofitted from their reverse engineered from the alien one, so they're a little better than what NASA's got access to these days.
Would I be able to shoot lasers without rupturing the suit?
Oh, that's a good question, and something they would have thought of before sending you off into space.
Awesome.
Well, you can wear clothing and still fire your lasers without burning gloves off of your hands and stuff.
That's true.
So your spacesuit has a very, very tightly fitting glove area. Specially designed so it's just a lot closer to skin tight. It's not quite. It's still thicker than your regular, costume or anything, but it won't interfere.
Nice.
You just don't want the helmet getting ruptured. All right, Houston, how many of your copies are flinging out into space?
I can fling a solid 6 right now.
All right.
And still maintain.
So 6 of you shoot out with Ray right behind you. You get out there, you see these large projectiles coming at you. They've clearly got thrust and some steering capability. There's no windows. You can, it's bullet shaped, but you can kind of see where there's seams, like the front may open up.
Yep.
So you don't know if they're going to try to poke a hole in the ship, and then spring that open to kind of lodge it in there.
Yeah, are there any visible, or are they just going to ramp? Is it just? Does it seem like a straight?
It seems like they're going for a ram.
Go ahead and whatever looks like the
Ramming
weakest seam, I'm gonna just fire away at.
All right, how many yous are concentrating on this seam?
We'll just do 2 at first, and if that doesn't work, we'll jump up to 4.
Okay. So are you doing more? Are they working together to do more damage, or working together to better get a hit?
Higher damage this time.
Okay.
So it's 2 rolls, both have to succeed to do it? Or is it 1 roll and just
you're going for more damage? If you're going for more damage, they both have to hit, I believe.
Okay.
Well, if you're going for a better chance to hit, then it just adds 2 to whoever's the primary.
Alright. 9 and a 10 on the shot.
All right, they've got a handling of 5. So the first one hits, and the second one really hits.
All right. Base damage is 6, so plus the bonus.
All right, so we get a +1 bonus. So it's doing 7. Let me check the GM screen. Where are the vehicles at? All right. So it's got an armor of 1. Oh wait, no, that's a World War I plane. That's not what we're looking at here. Hold on there. All right, so hold on. 2. All right, so it's taking 5 damage. You hit that seam, and it's like the point of the bullet could split open in 4s, and you basically blow one of those whole 4th segments off.
Is the introduction of space to that altering its course at all?
It's not. The force of the blast either knocked it off course slightly, and when that thing springs open, a couple of figures fall out. And you realize they're like, attached to that chunk you blew off. And let me throw up what they look like, sort of. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
So it's either very scrawny aliens in some sort of powered armor, or it's robots. There's no visible gas venting out. So the boarding crafts may not have any sort of atmosphere inside them. Ray, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to blast one of them with the intent of not necessarily destroying it outright, but if I could render it incapable of boarding, that would be ideal. I don't know if this will just be a simple attack or if there's any kind of maneuver I need to make for that.
Are you trying to make it where it couldn't board?
Yeah, because I figure, if a boarding vessel full of humanoid robots type things can't really hurt us if they can't even get on board in the first place. If that would be easier than just destroying the ship outright.
Do your light attacks cause heat?
I don't think they do. I'm pretty sure.
Did you buy them as blasting or what is it? Blasting or
it's
shooting?
Blasting, so I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just kinetic force.
Okay, so it's more like Cyclops'
shooting.
eye beams than a laser. Gotcha. Yeah, the best you could probably do you could do direct damage. You could try to shoot off an engine where it wouldn't be able to maneuver properly, and thus might not be able to catch the ship. So you could just attack it outright, or you could try to put the condition on it. Something like out of control or off course.
And whatever you want to do, you will have an assisting copy of Unison.
Oh.
Yeah, if I could put a condition, can't board vessel, I'd like to go for that.
Okay.
Also, I'm wondering, I want to, yeah, I think I might want to try an experiment here with my connectivity. Uh, I'm wondering if this might be smoother operating through my cell phone. So I'm going to log out of, if I can, just log out of Discord and Zoom. And if you could just send another Zoom invite, I'll see if I can accept it on my phone,
Okay.
just to see if that would be smoother. I'll be right back.
All right. I wonder if I should go to red alert since y'all are actually fighting now.
Probably should.
All right, I should be back on phone now.
Okay.
Are you all able to hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you fine.
Your volume has changed.
Yeah, it actually increased.
All right, I had a suspicion it might be stronger through my cell phone. Let me turn on. Actually, let me pair my mic to my Zoom app. Open. Can you send me a new invite?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can hear you at the moment.
Okay. I'd like to try to disable the boarding bullet.
All right. You're using your energy blast, so go ahead and give me, that'll be coordination. One of the Unison copies is aiding you,
Oh, great.
so give yourself a +2. It's got to roll its handling. All right, so 10 is the number to beat. And you rolled a 9. And let's see, that's you rolled a 1 on the dice, +5
Not
for your
hearing
stat.
anything right now.
Oh, you're not? Uh-oh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make a suggestion. Since we're already a player short,
And we're at a decent start of action cliffhanger.
yeah, we're kind of at the beginning of the action scene. It's close to 4 o'clock. I know Mike said he can hang around a half hour, but I hate to make him late for his next game. We may
I
just
think it's
call
going to
it.
be pretty painful getting any further.
Yep. Yeah, he says it sounds good. He's sorry about the difficulty. Again, Mike, you listen to this later. Technical difficulties ain't really nobody's fault. You should have been here for the season 1 ones.
Don't listen to him. I'm so angry at you, and if it were not for the laws of this land, you would be dead where you stand.
All right, so we're going to wrap up here. It has been an interesting episode. And when it was running, I had a lot of fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope anybody out there that comes by and watches or listens to this later will show up next time. Hopefully we'll have some of these issues ironed out by then. I make no promises. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, again, I was the GM for the day, Jason, and with me was Curtis as Landshark,
Later, y'all have a good evening.
Taylor as Unison,
See ya.
and we had Mike as Independence Ray and Zach as Recluse. And we will see y'all next time.